Normally, we are generally a little bit egoistic, irrespective of the age. And the Indian traditional situation where there is a difference between the age of the husband and the wife. They ensure it right at the time of the marriage, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, etc. And relating to that comes the aspect of higher educational qualifications. Then also added would be the husband is employed and the woman may be just a housemaker or not adequately educated to be herself an employee. Of course, the modern situation, the things are changing. The cumulative effect of this is, as you have rightly mentioned in the morning, our educational system lacks the required inputs right from the early stages. So I feel we are encouraged to feel that we have the right to exploit.
Yes, sir.
Right to dominate. And everything I would look at it from that perspective.
Yes.
That is, you have come because I got you here. It is my place. I am residing here with my parents. You have left your parents and you have come to me. So survival is a challenge for you and not so much for me. If at all you have to adjust with me, there is no question of my adjusting with you. And the cumulative effect to my mind prevents a male, an average male I am referring to, there will be extraordinarily good people and understandably below average people, prevents a person from self-reflection. So I was wondering, I mean, you have, of course, very rightly have stated it very clearly that do you want understanding or are you insisting on understanding? Do you want to make others happy or you insist on others making you happy? I could see the trend that you have adopted for convincing the persons that they must think of internalizing and reflecting, which together will lead to greater maturity. This is my observation, sir. Thank you.
Sir, thank you. Now, in this session, we will unpack more of what you were raising, that concerns. So where that particular sense of differentiation is coming in wife and husband relationship. So we will deal systematically in this session. But thank you for raising that. And so, like 10 years ago, like I used to listen on the police Vishnadan sir's lectures. I'm also a student. So just for the audience, I'm saying that. So I'm very happy to see you, sir. So though like there is no like we're not intended to invite the senior citizens, but we are very happy to see you here and take your blessings. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. It's not blessings, it's a question of getting educated. See, an unfamiliar way of approaching what normally ought to have been taught by the parents, supported by the teachers, encouraged in the educational system. I have a feeling those inputs were not available, at least when I was relatively young. Okay?
Sir,
thank you. Thank you for remembering and recognizing me. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any insights? Anything which you connected to you since morning session or in the self-reflection activity while you were asking those 7-8 questions? Or even then watching video? Is a holiday or holiday? Yes. Evening time. Sir. Ha, Naresh ji. Namaste, sir.
Yeah, I did that activity also 7-8 questions. My realization was we know this what you are doing good, what is doing not good, but there is a confidence problem in me. I am unable to respond to the situation. Often I am reacting. Yeah, even I know this what is the right also. After I'm reacting, this is my perception. I have to work on my confidence. Yes, this is my perception of what is today's workshop.
So at least the success is that, sir, at least I'm recognizing that in that situation I'm reacting. most of the times we justify, as Vishwanathan sir was referring to that. Are we justifying our actions? We know for our consciousness, no? We say conscience, that for inner core self, we know that, look, I did something wrong. I reacted. But instead of recognizing that, we try to prove that the other is the issue or other needs to do something. I think that's the dangerous state. At least if you are recognizing that, look, I reacted, we are in that first step, we are okay. Things, it helps us to at least to go back in retrospection and to try to do something in the direction that helps relationship, that fulfillment part. Slowly, when we affirm these natural laws, like how gravitational law is, like that there are certain laws in between two people. The moment you do anything against the law, you need to apply a lot of energy. Now it drains us. When you follow the law, you see that you gain the energy. If any object comes from up to down, it gains that energy. No? When we follow the law, that feeling is what we are gaining, that energy, in other words. Right now, like we are not able to see this, that what morning Sumanji is saying, right understanding part. We are not able to develop this understanding. We are not able to ensure this feeling in us. This feeling is fluctuating. When other person is behaving as per our expectations, very good. We are a very good person. When other person is doing something against what you like, what you think is good, we are losing that emotion. So this ability to separate individual and issue, my feeling towards the individual comes out of my clarity, and my response, it may be assertive response, but I'm talking about the issue that is good for both of us or the entire family. I think this ability to differentiate this individual and issue is what is central. So, sir, this, like if I'm teaching, it doesn't mean that I am every time I am responding it. As a facilitator, I can say that the moment we start affirming these principles, one principle we discussed, there are many principles, it helps us to be conscious. It helps us to take responsibility in the relationship most of the time. That's the starting point. Over a period of time, we develop this mastery, ability to have this feeling towards the other person and ability to deal the issue without getting disturbed by that. So that's a process, sir. We need to be self-compassionate in this direction. Because whatever has been our training last few, whatever your age and whatever the previous journeys, what we have this impulsive, instinctive nature. Now, we also developed from our ancestors. Now, with this impulsive or instinctive to coming from the intellect, coming from that clarity, from clarity to that feeling, it takes a time. Supposed to be, we are spending 25 years in education to develop these abilities. Unfortunately, for the livelihood, we are able to crack that in education. Now, we know if a person goes to 16 years of education, he can be a good engineer, he can earn so much. But for the life, which is central, this relationship between wife and husband, between two brothers and sisters, or the two friends, two colleagues, and what does relationship mean? What kind of feeling it should be? What is my role? These knowledge systems, somehow it's been ignored or neglected. So right now, this is the starting point. At least we are started. Whoever is interested, we are doing this dialogue. So it takes some time, sir. So I request not to be so harsh about yourself. I'm saying to everyone, it's a journey. So my teacher always taught one principle, FIR. Always remember this, this formula, FIR. When we start seeing reality, this FIR happens in our life. That should be celebration. I am getting angry in a day 10 times. Once I aware this kind of classes or anything, still I may get angry, but I'm getting angry only 3 times. Minus 10 to minus 3. It's a success. Still I'm in progressing. That should be celebrated and that should be worked on. And intensity. Before, when I get angry, that boiling, that intensity, ooh, I'll do that, I will see your thing, that intensity of negative emotion. Now that I'm getting angry, or when I'm getting feeling opposition, I could come out quickly and I could see that it's not that much affecting me. It's a little jerk and I'm coming back to normal. Or how quickly I'm coming it out. Before, it used to disturb through 2-3 days. Or for few people, it's a life, it's keeping always in the mind that, and nagging it, worrying about it, and that ability to come back quickly within a 1 hour or within 2 hours, 2 days, it differs from person to person. How quickly I'm able to come back. Yes, I'm reacting, but I'm coming it back. So this FIR, please keep in mind. Any workshop you attend in this direction, now this is a journey. So it is an introductory lecture, like with these 4 lectures. So it takes time. It takes time. We can see that we are also on work in progress. But definitely what is happening in my life, I can say, with my relationship with my wife, at least I am not, I'm not saying that everything is perfectly fine, but at least I could take responsibility for most of the times. At least I don't have any complaint. And I can clearly see the possibility to see a responsible action in every time any conflict that I encounter. So that's my long answer, Nareshi, but I want to connect to many points. So for everyone, it's our journey. Please don't come to any quick conclusions. I am like this. Some self-compassion is required in this journey. So I will try to summarize what we discussed morning, then I will take the questions. So since morning we don't have that much time to ask the questions. So first is that we are doing these initiatives with the responsibility. So as the capacity of a co-explorer, we are not saying that I am the realized soul. Here we are telling something to you people. So we are also in the journey. We got tremendous benefit in our life with this exposure, with this knowledge, and we are sharing out of the responsibility. So that's how various initiatives. The couples retreat is the new initiative. It's an introductory to the larger workshop called Jivana Vidya workshop. So anything we say, consider as a proposal. Please don't accept it on its face value. We tend to believe, accept it. Yes, this is the right, or we tend to reject it because it is not connecting to us. So please don't do that, both the things. Consider the proposal, verify in my life, is it making sense in my relationship? So verify on your own, right? So that's what the process morning Sumanji suggested. So please keep this in mind. We are not saying that this is the right thing. This is the proposal. You verify for you, is it making sense? The first thing is that whatever we are doing in relationship to be happy, and whatever you said that many things morning, what kind of relationship I require? For that kind of relationship, for that kind of happy and prosperous life, what we greet every new year, irrespective of the country, region, religion. For that kind of life, yes, we need material, physical facilities, but it's not alone not sufficient. We need relationships and positive feelings in that. But very important, the clarity about the both and how much investment, how much time we are spending in our life on the all the three. Have we really missed that point? What is more important and how much time we are giving in our life for that? The developing the right understanding, clarity in self. So that's the point Sumanji is raised it morning. Now in this direction, Sumanji said that there are the 4 levels we live: individual, family, society, nature. The understanding that helps us to live in harmony, that understanding we are calling right understanding, samaj. Now at the family level, with life partner and even other relationships, what kind of understanding helps us to live harmony is the scope of this workshop, these 4 sessions. So how to address this gap between what we would like to and right now what we are end up doing? Morning, the 2 boxes you people able to generate. That gap, how to address that? So especially in wife and husband relationship. So what we believe is that a mother and father relationship in the tradition, we celebrated a lot. It is very important relationship. But for a society, another very, very important relationship, which we need to celebrate and cherish, is a wife and husband relationship. Unfortunately, there are many jokes or whatever that in this. But what Jivanavidya, our understanding is that it is the core in any stable society, because this is the where the next generation is coming from. That if that relationship is not stable, if that relationship is not mature, and the implication would be in the next generation, and that has a long effects on the next generation. So if that's the relationship, then I asked why we got married. What is this purpose of this relationship? Is it to get that more like we get some person in life who earn the money, or is this what for what? In that direction, we proposed is that it's for the purakata, it's a fulfilling for the both the parties. So I explained it with the nature, some example, the concept of mutual fulfillment, the purakata, the completeness. That's what this relationship is. But are we really conscious every moment that the other person is contributing to me to become better, or other person is helping me to see that what is the area I'm lacking? Both the things are in both the ways, other is helping me. That complementary, that mutual enrichment, are we really see that as a goal in the relationship? I think that's what we need to be aware of. That's the first proposal. Then we propose that there are 9 feelings which are foundational for any relationship, especially in wife and husband relationship. So one such foundational feeling is trust, Vishwas ka bhav. So Vishwas, this word has come from Vishwa jaisa hai waisa dekhne se, waisa aswasth hone se, jaisa jo bhav aata hai, usko Vishwas kaha hai. So like seeing things as it is. So when I understand the principle, the reality, feeling can be in me. When that understanding is stable, I can ensure this feeling for continuity. That leads to my happiness. Whatever I have, that only I can share. If I have the ignorance, that's what I share. If I have the clarity, if I have the feeling, that's what I share. So the first part, the sutra, that principle is, if this feeling is in me, I am happy. when I'm happy, naturally I express this feeling in my relationship. Now my question is that, are we able to see this reality? That it's me who is expressing lack of the feeling or the feeling. So that's what morning I'm trying to draw your attention. Is it with you first? How is this feeling is in you? Is it continuous in you, irrespective of the external person or the activity? Then we can express it. So then I asked you 4 questions and another 4 questions. I could see that a pattern in your own answers, that however you want to be happy, you want to make others happy. In reality, ability is the issue, not your wish. Can we see the same reality in your partner? That the other intends for my happiness, but other is not able to, like how I am not able to. The moment you see this reality, we could see this principle, this reality, that others' intent is like my intent. So that I need to assure about it. But does it mean that everything right? No, there is the issue. Issue is with the competence. सामर्थ्य का कमी से जो हो रहा है वो हो रहा है. So that's what we discussed with certain examples. And the proposal what we given is that the moment you doubt others' intent, we react. We react, it starts with internal reaction and you react outside. Mostly, depending on the gender, if again and again this thing is happening, that's what we are hurting our health. So many people. Few people, when do it outside, we are hurting that relationship again and again. So we ask you to introspect. Is it a reason for the conflict in your relationship with your partner? So then we say that when you see the competence as the issue, naturally you acknowledge that. Without that understanding, we keep on suspecting the other's intent. So like one of my teacher used to ask that, just imagine if there is no culture which is binding, there's nothing that like what others think about me. How many families really stay in that house, the two intact? Now you see the present generation, if at all anyone is young, there's the WhatsApp quotes going on, love at first sight and the divorce at the first fight. Or certain things like separation is seems to be the first easiest way to come out of the pain, or that other is the issue. What Suman is asking, is the fixing other will be the solution? So this responsibility part, am I taking responsibility in the relationship, or I am also reacting? So this is what we proposed. If I take the responsibility, my behavior would be, I commit first for that relationship and I help the other to develop their understanding, but with the assurance on their intent. If other has the clarity, I commit to understand from them. So we stopped here. Like, where are you? So we requested you to do self-reflection activity. So any questions, clarifications, doubts, disagreements, feel free to ask. You can unmute and ask. Anything?
Hi, Savita here.
Ha, madam, please go.
Posted in the chat, like how to recognize one's competence. I did not get that far.
Okay. I will unpack it. Any other questions?
Hello, am I audible? This is Sandeep here.
Yes, Sandeep ji, go ahead.
I was just sharing a comment that maybe perhaps we focus on competence so much because it's so easy to recognize outside wise the actions and verbs and vocalizations. But intention is hard because we don't know what is going on in somebody else's.
But at least we know what is going on in ourselves.
Yes, that is true.
Are we assured about our intent? So I'm asking you, everyone ask this. How many times you intentionally doing something wrong? If at all there is, if you do wrong, or if you've done something wrong, how much time you intentionally doing it? Ask this question, number one. Number two, even you doing it after some time, why we are feeling, Arey yaar, I shouldn't have done like that. I shouldn't have said like that. Why we feel this regret? Even can we see this in ourselves?
It's perhaps because everyone wants to do the right thing.
The moment you see in yourself, then you clearly see the other is like this. At least my life partner, forget about the Modi or the Amit Shah or someone else. At least can I assure about this one person who I promise that I will travel with this person lifelong? Or we try to help each other, so on and so forth. One person. It's like a law. If you practice with one person, then you will able to see this with everywhere. Okay. Hamita ji, go ahead.
Sir, at times priorities change. Like there is a difference in priority. Our intention is going somewhere else, and his intention is at some other point. So then the clash comes, no? And this is also a reason of dispute.
No, clash bound to be. Rather than clash, say the difference of opinion.
Okay.
A difference in the way we do things is bound to be, because two individuals are not same in that sense, because of our competence has never been the same.
Exactly.
Three things are different. Na? What is the exposure you got in your life from childhood onwards? And what is the exposure the other life partner got? What kind of guidance you got? This is right, this is wrong, or whatever from childhood onwards. What you've been practicing again and again. If I've been practicing shouting or reacting, that becomes my competence from childhood onwards. Suddenly one day it cannot come, na? Like, because you don't do like this. So this competence is built over a period of time. I will unpack what competence, dimensions of competence, what my other madam asked.
Okay.
The moment you see this reality, then you try to see that, look, this mistake bound to happen. Or you can see that things are like, few things happen like this, like how it's happening with me. Then there will be more conversations. There will be more things to come together. Right now, what is happening? Issue is not the big thing, madam. The feeling is missing. A bhavka partner that is missing in our wife and husband relationship. Then, because of that feeling is not there, these things are become bitter. That in memory, that negativity is escalating day by day. Because in that experience, already got hurt when you suspect others' intent. Because you got hurt, that experience is there, that memory is there in your head. Next moment, what you see with what eye you see the other person, you are seeing with that hurt memory. Then if other person, even slightest thing he do in a differently, again another disturbance. Now it's compound, right? Added to the previous one. Now the third day something happens, again added. Now this is accumulating in the bank. In our bank, this negative balance is accumulating. One day it's bursting out. If it is not, if you are saying no sir, in my house is not accumulating. So the test is that whenever the fight is coming, even from the marriage, all the scenarios coming, you did like that time this, you did this time like this.
Past events.
So whatever it's coming, these events, you not closed it.
It's never closed.
Madam,
it is never resolved now.
That's why, because we never ask this question now, why we both are here, why we are living together. Chal rahe, chalne do. That's why I see that, like, I can talk from my life, the joy of being together is really missing. In our local language called Utsav. The festival, the festive environment is missing in the home, because that feeling is missing. So when the feeling backs, then you celebrate the differences. You celebrate that inadequacy in both of us. Let me ask you this. Who married this person? Let us ask this question. Who is the person who holded like that hand? No, sir, it's not me. It's my parents' selection. No, that day you can run away from the house if you don't like it. But whatever that incentive in your head, you married that person. See that what is the kind of thinking is really holding it back in really seeing the other side. Okay. So there are two other dimensions. Let's see that, especially in wife and husband, in classical case, where most of jagada comes. It's not that we always suspect others' intent.
Expectations, mostly. And communications, sure, communications.
So this morning you said many people, the expectation and communication. So there are two words, okay? Ability to receive and ability to execute and do it. In local language, we call patrata yogyata. So the patrata is ability to receive something. When I'm explaining a class, few people get it like that. Few people I need to repeat what I said, because the people may be looking some WhatsApp message or something, engaging some other activity or that. At this moment, they are not able to receive fully. I need to explain twice. Or it's maybe my ability to communicate may be the issue. So I need to articulate again with some examples and that. I'm not that efficient in my communication. That ability to do. In our competence, these two aspects are there. In me, in the other, my wife or my partner. If we don't see these two things clearly, our expectation and communication will be out of the way. So just ask yourself, in your wife and husband relationship, how much time we are communicating in a way that other is able to receive? How much time you think you are communicating like that, but you are communicating in the way you are comfortable or what you know?
It is always my comfort at first.
Then like morning, I was asking with Sarna to guide me. He's telling that, come take this suburban and come to this place, take the taxi, come here. Very nicely. He's thinking that How nicely I'm explaining. Still this guy is not coming. This guy, what is guy? See this 20 times, 30 times. Since last 20 years, I've been telling this person. Sorry, are you able to explain? Say in a way I get it. Are we seeing this aspect? Okay, I'm asking everyone, please reflect on your own wife and husband relationship. Second, your expectation, what you are expecting from your partner, is it in line with what other is capable of? Or always you are expecting more than what they can do and feeling disappointed? Always is more than like, are we really expecting what they can do? And why I'm again and again expecting what others cannot do, what others don't know how to do it? And the third question I want to ask you, see that most of the time where this we are going out of the way, am I really coming from what is right? Can we understand? Can we understand? Or I'm coming from what I like, you need to do it, what I think is good. So now the floor is yours. Are we able to see these two dimensions in our competence? When we don't see these two dimensions, again we say that ye janbujh ke kar rahe, he intentionally is doing it. We go back to that, suspecting the intent. Hope your question is addressed, sir. Someone raised it, madam.
Yes, sir. It's totally fine.
Any questions or anything which you see differently, disagree, or any?
Just give me some time.
Madam. Not, I'm asking entire class. Generally, after this session, there is a little silence, but we encourage you to participate and ask questions or anything, especially who are attending first time. Sharadji, go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Someone is raised. You can unmute and talk. Padmaja, go ahead.
Sorry, this is Sivkumar, sir. And
Shivkumar, sir.
Padmaja is.
Okay, very good. Sir, go ahead.
So it's quite interesting the way you presented about ability to receive and ability to do. And I honestly accept that, yes, this is a major issue that is confronting. Could you please help us with some tips on how do we assess the ability to do and mold our communication according to that?
Sir, like generally we don't say these are do's and don'ts. We are just give the principles and you figure it out what your do's and don'ts. But I can say what I am doing in my life. Sir, I try to
that will be helpful.
I try to spend some quality time, okay, with my wife. Second thing is that the listening, sir, the listening. We most neglected and undermined ability in the communication is, we have so much encouragement how to speak, but we have less training or less thing on how to listen. That listening to the other's feeling, not the words. where other is coming from. I think that listening is the next practice. The third practice which I'm doing is that this my emotional audit every hour. What is my feeling towards her? So there are few other practices which if I say it doesn't make any sense because we need to understand the content first. I will share little things at the end of the tomorrow evening, few more. But at least it starts these things, we will be able to see that. Right now, I'm asking everyone, we have our news time, newspaper, how much time we read. We have our serial time, we have our movie time. Do we have really our partner time? Some quality time for this, my life partner. Do we really thought about that? Qualitative thing, no WhatsApp, no mobile, nothing, quality time. I think this is the first thing what one can do, and remaining things will naturally happens. But these are the few things, sir. But there are many things which comes out of the clarity. You develop, you see the possibilities many, sir. It's very difficult to say something what works in your context, but you need to ask that first. You need to see this reality first. Then possibilities will be very much there. So sorry for the partial answer. I am stopping myself because I need to explain, give some proposal, then I can share a few other practices.
Certainly, sir. That's an interesting answer. Thank you for that. And I look forward to the reminder.
So the second feeling, which is again the foundational, is the Samman ki bhav, the feeling of respect. I am not talking about expression of the respect. The expression, saying namaste, touching the feet, talking with the G at the Garu and the end. I'm not talking about the expression. The feeling of the respect towards the life partner or to the other person. How much time we have this feeling with us? So what kind of understanding we have to be there to get this feeling? And right now, what is our understanding? Let's see. Right now, most of things, what Vishnadam sir initially was mentioned this, how we are seeing ourselves with my money, with my gender, with my qualification. There are many things. Let's see what are that we are seeing it. Age, that I am the elder to you. Does that mean that I have the better clarity than you, or I carry better feeling? No, na. So can I say that whoever is elder in the age, they know better than they who are younger in the age? No, na. But unfortunately, that becomes a parameter to differentiate the life partner or the other person. Gender. And sorry to say, we have this, we're trying to see it. Na? One gender is higher than the other gender. It's not high and low. Both have their part in their life. But unfortunately, we're not able to see it. Okay, here I will just, let's say fun exercise. Let's do. I will ask few opposite words. Quickly type in the chat box. Everyone open your chat box. I will ask few opposite words. We all trained enough childhood onwards, we'll learn all the opposite words. No? So the first, white. Request everyone to participate. Okay. Okay, very good. Day. Okay. Wife. Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Whoever is responded, whoever not responded, have you thought that is this first is question itself is make sense? Is a sensible question itself first? Sir, day and night is it two phases in 24 hours? They are not opposite, na? White and black, two different colors. Wife and husband is like two different individuals. They're not opposites. See the conditioning, what we conditioned with. Are we it's very difficult to see this complementariness, the Purakata. So in my life, I can clearly see experientially this part. So my wife used to be housewife before. And I'm the working person. So since we have we have CHDHC and I have also my main work, what we do. So used to be busy with my work. So it's many things, no? Like I getting to my place, either my food or taking care of the house, my child or whatever that. So my wife started working. So now I can clearly see that how important each activity the other person is doing for me to do what I'm doing without any disturbance or with much support. Unfortunately, somewhere this one work is higher, one work is lower, or a person who performing one work is higher or lower. This conditioning, we are able to start differentiating the other. The caste, at least that problem, the race problem is with husband and wife won't be there much, but still sometimes, even in one community, you see some differences. The physical appearance part, mota hai, kala hai, you are long, white, you are white, black, short, you are fatty, whatever that. The another differentiation we try to do is that, but what is the core misunderstanding it here? Other person is body. But what is the reality? Like how you have yourself, how you have your feelings, like your will to live and that. Like the other person also has the feelings. And the self is there. We are not only body, na? But somehow this conditioning is that seeing the other human based on the only body. The second thing, which is so much ingrained, the wealth or the post. Because you are earning some money, you think you are someone, but differentiating the other. You entitled to see yourself more, or you carry some post. What is the post mean? Is it the higher the responsibility, the higher the irresponsibility? If I have a higher post, what does it mean? So again, the gross misunderstanding is, if I have more money, more facilities, more name, I will be happy. But you know the reality. The third part, especially in educated families, if wife and husband well read or both are doing the jobs, isms. I believe in one ism, you believe in some other ism. Sect and information. I know more than you. Thanks to Google, now everything is is there in one type away. What for? What? See this minute things. How we start differentiating each other to prove that I am better than you. Again, my preconditioning is better than your preconditioning. If you see this, all these identities, the word is very important, identity. How you are identifying yourself like that, when other person is like that, you relate. If other person is not like that, you differentiate. If I see myself with one caste, same caste person I feel related to. If I see myself with my religion, I see with other religion person I feel related to, connected to. If I see myself with my state, my language, I connected to the other person who is speaking the other language. This is a natural phenomena for a human. Unfortunately, these narrow identities, what we are carrying, is pushing us to differentiate the other person. In Telugu, we say narakam. In Hindi also narak we say, na? If at all this kind of differentiation is there in your family, so there is no need to be hell outside. That hell is in our head only, and in that. It's a keep on proving that I am special. I am better than you. Or seeing myself as a human. Naturally, you see other person as a human. At that level, if you're not able to relate, this differentiation is taken for granted in our lives. So the reality is that what we've been asking since morning, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I also want to be happy. The other human, my wife, she also wants to be happy. I also need to understand about the reality. The other person also needs to understand. How I can understand something, she also can understand something. Maybe her pace may be different, her exposure may be different till now. The only difference between one human being and another human being is the competence, ability to understand and do it. That's all. The moment you see this reality, we don't make effort to put the other person down, say something that is very insultive or very manipulative, exploitative. You naturally see that complementariness, purakata, that how other person is adding value, fulfilling that as a whole in my life. So naturally, I see if I have better clarity, I will add that with my ability. If other has the better clarity, and I will ready to learn from the other. This purakata is important. But this clarity, other is similar to me. I am human being, other also similar to me. This clarity is important. Samman ki bhav. It comes in your heart when you see this reality, other is also human being. Other is similar to me. I am also human being. First, you need to see here. But unfortunately, if you are not able to see this identity with yourself, you cannot see the other person unconditionally. It's a feeling of respect. With this feeling, you express whatever the language, whatever your culture, whatever your local customs, practices, you express it. But this feeling comes out of this seeing this reality. Other is similar to me. So this is the proposal. Is there any questions in this proposal? You can feel free to ask. Samman ki bhav. Seeing the other person like human being. I am also human being. Seeing the other is like me. In wife and husband, in your relationship, are you able to see this? Or are we stuck at some or the other these boxes? Sharadji, ego. Yes, this is the mother of ego. What is the ego? you over-evaluate yourself. The opposite ego is the inferiority, or in extreme conditions, that depression part. You under-evaluating yourself. Both the things happens. So this ego is coming from these things, sir. You know who I am? You know how much I know? So there is a joke, na? A person in the airport counter, he asked, that lady asked that, sir, can you come in line? That guy says that, you know who I am? So then that lady says that, so this person don't know who he is. Kindly someone help him. So this ego thing, are seeing with something, with these identities, with our post, our wealth, our age. We ourselves demeaning. We are seeing ourselves lower to human being. In Telugu, we call Sukshma Pida in Hindi. When we start seeing ourselves with the lower identities, we are already suffering. And we spread the same thing with the another. Especially, forget about the other relationships. In wife and husband relationship, are we struck in the superiority game or inferiority game? Are we really seeing the purakata, the complementariness of the other person in family, in life, in your life? Ha, Sharadji, go ahead. Sharadji, are you able to unmute yourself? You are raising the hand, but you are not talking. You can unmute yourself, Sharadji.
Sir, the most thing is the culture and the environment we are brought in is playing a greater part. In parents, in the childhood of their children, they say that the male is more greater than female. It is the environment the people are brought in. Unless you treat your partner as your wife as equal partner and understand her wishes, how she wants you to be, and what are her wishes, her wants, her ambitions. If you know them and if you act according to it, she will also act according to your wishes. So unless there is equal understanding and equal status given to the other person, there won't be anything. These sessions are, I think, they are not useful. Unless you are treating your wife or the spouse as equal partner. And
you're talking about yourself only, na?
Yes, sir. Respect her wishes.
So in these sessions, we put it translate to ourselves. No, we don't generalize things.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No,
but you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I agree with you.
Yes. So the more proper thing is treating other person as equal. It is most important.
At the bhav level, sir, at the feeling level.
Yes.
Samman ki bhav, feeling of respect. The other is similar to me, hence we are complementary to each other. Any questions, clarifications, doubts, agreements? You can unmute and ask.
I have a point to make.
Sir.
The Sharadji was trying to tell that treating the other spouse as an equal partner. I just wanted to add my own viewpoint there.
Sir.
So a spiritual dimension enters into the relationship of these two mature adults, that both are partners in the common cause of taking care of the children, or they are serving the cause of God, or they are spiritual, or they should work together but not fight with each other, I think things would get a little clearer. That's my submission.
So here the proposal is that at least they are mindful about their need. They need to be happy, and they need to be the need to live a fulfilling life. These are individual needs. It's a necessity. It is not optional. At least these two individuals are respectful of their needs. Then naturally they see this things are. So yes, if that God thing it comes, it's okay. But the proposal is this. At least are you seeing what matters to you at the individual level, at the family level? Good. Any other questions, comments, or any insights? I request to be like, please, first timers, participate. Whoever is like, I'm not able to see your names, Amitaji, Ishpitaji, whoever is attending first time. We know many people are like attended previous workshop, others, Etishji. Any questions, comments?
Very good evening, sir. I'm
Good
Usha.
evening, madam. Go ahead.
So you were just explaining respect and respecting feelings. Feelings of respect to each other. So do you think there is an expectation there?
So the feeling should be in ourselves, madam. Okay, there is expectation from myself.
Lying in between.
It's not from the other person. Do I have the feeling of respect towards the other? When I see this reality, first I will ensure this feeling in myself. If this feeling is not in me, definitely I need to look for somewhere. Na? So then other needs to respect me first. But then when this understanding is in me, at least in me, that feeling is ensured towards the other. That's the proposal, madam.
Yeah. From our side, we will be respecting the person. Okay. That is our self thought. So in the same pattern, the others, as you explained, the ability to receive, if that is missing, what can you do?
So you need to first, is it with when other person is not responding to that, is your feeling also changing towards the other?
No.
So when your feeling is intact, then with that positive feeling, you work on their ability to receive.
So it is an experimenting. Life is an experimenting.
Wife and husband, wife and husband, this what is experimenting only every day.
What would be the time period?
So like, madam, it's up to you. If your selection is not like, during the selection you choose now how bigger experiment you can afford.
Marriages generally it's not selection. It's the elders' respect.
But even elders also looking at certain elements. Na? If the parameters were wrong, then yes, this experimentation is very long term and highly intensive.
They think of the physical and all. The internal human will be considered later on in life.
So physical also is important, because when you are physically comfort, then you
Elders
can pay attention to other things.
Elders check all the things. What is in their capabilities. But so, human thinking.
Yes, madam. That's why understanding is very, very important, even for the elders. So with understanding, we find our partner. This experimentation still will be there, but less intensive, less time. If this without understanding, we are choosing our partners, this is a little higher than.
I just wanted to highlight, it is only being one side. giving respect, giving respect, giving respect. So I just wanted a solution. for
Yes.
it. Thank you, sir.
Solution is that developing this capability in others as well. This what? Yeah, you see this red zone, this box?
Parents only can't give things to their children, sir. How can a wife can develop a thing to a man?
No, but at least wife is living first with that feeling towards the other. This is the first question. If wife develops this feeling in herself, she is happy.
Yes.
Now that mutual fulfillment is not there since other person is not there. At least one, there is no internal problem, na?
Now,
At
till
least
what extent she needs to do things to get her respect? Keep on respecting.
no, madam. You have other person also will understand. It's not like that. How your assumptions changes, now you start seeing the new way and you are doing new behavior. Hence the other person. It's not like that disappointing also in situations. But we need to convince that my behavior is coming from my understanding. Other person behavior is coming from other person's understanding. If this understanding changes, behavior will change. Are you sure about this reality? First, this is what we need to sure about our life partner. Then we'll work for that understanding. At least the beauty is that you are not suffering with that pain. Right now, what is happening? Problem is outside and problem is inside. That's the major issue. With the knowledge, with the clarity, what I can say that in my life, there are three things. You know? First, one thing is vanished in myself, the complaint or this lack of this, looking for the new possible action for tomorrow onwards. So I will share my personal thing end of the class, but I could clearly see that with the clarity, with this knowledge, it really helps us to first clear the internal things. At least I'm asking myself, what is my feeling towards the other? Believe me, things will dramatically change in wife and husband relationship. This much I can say from my experience. Mine also is arranged marriage.
This question doesn't arise in the mind, sir. That is the problem.
No, it's not like that, madam. Wait, give me a few minutes. I'm coming to next topic. Then I will answer fully. I need to introduce some new concept.
Yeah,
then I will come back to you. Ishita ji, Sharad ji, please go ahead.
So my concern here is, it is true that in life, it is differentiation. Our mind constantly thinks of the differences between us. He's thinking that way, I'm thinking this way. He's a man, he thinks in a certain way. I'm a woman, I think in a certain way. Now, when we are talking of the self, this entire concept that we are similar, at the core, we are similar. What I am, you are. So, this entire concept, of course, soul and, who am I? It actually goes back to the core of who am I? Who is the self? And this entire understanding of who am I? Who is the self? Actually leads to the understanding of the other. Now, sir, the whole thing is, this is a very difficult thing to do. Who am I is the most difficult concept to grasp.
We planned 7-day workshop for that. Next, if you...
So, even though the mind understands and theoretically we understand, okay, I am more than this, or I am this. This is a deep journey in self-realization, I feel, and it is extremely difficult to theoretically understand. It's a moment when you realize. So now, in life, when will we reach that moment, that aha moment, as you said, or, that moment of transformation, or that moment of like the Buddha got the nirvana. So, so that is my question. I mean, I'm struggling there.
Madam, what I can propose that we need not to go to up to Buddha and that stuff. We can even start asking this question: is it my need or not? If the moment you see it is my need to live a happy and fulfilling life, then you ask next question: what kind of the way I look at the world, my drishti helps me to live that life. This is all helping us the way you look at the things. Right now, what is happening in Hindi, there is a proverb: दृष्टि कैसा है, दृष्टि हमारा दृष्टि है ना, सृष्टि जैसा है वैसा हमारा दृष्टि होना है, और जैसा मेरा दृष्टि है वैसा सृष्टि होना है. Like how reality, like that my perception should be, or my perception should, like how my perception, reality should be like that. Now we are trying to draw your attention to certain principles in reality. This is how things are. If you choose to see it, you get it quickly. If you choose not to see it, it takes time. Okay. We cannot say where Buddha, whatever that is, that I am not lived with him. So many things is our imagination. But at least it is real with my husband, with my wife, the way I'm behaving. Is it leading to fulfillment or not? The feeling I'm carrying, is it really helping me or not? And also this aspiration, what my children should learn from. What the way parents behave, that is environment for your children. What you say, it is instruction for your children. The next generation also learn from environment. So one is fulfilling for you. What is your goal of in life, your family, and what is your responsibility towards the next generation? The moment you see these three things clearly, that this is the responsibility of any marriage, that me living that fulfilling life, the other is complementary to me, and also nurturing the next generation, their education and sanskar part. If the moment you see this responsibility, madam, then the energy comes, like to get things done quickly. If you don't see it, theek hai, chal raha hai, chalne do. Anyway, we are figuring it out things, na? So it's not that difficult, madam. It's easy. Difficult is that we are not seeing what is my need and what is my role, my responsibility. That's all.
Thank you.
So I think Padmanabh, I think transformation never happens like a magic. It is a real hard work makes transformation happen. Yes, madam. It's a real work. I don't say hard work. It's a real sincere work. It's like, madam, in Telugu we say that what is the difference between giving or losing? I'm asking everyone, think about this one thing tonight seriously. In Telugu, I'm saying, Ivvatamu Pogottukotam. What does it mean? In Hindi, Dena Khojana. What does it mean? Giving and losing. I give an example. You want to trek a small hill or a place, a plane. You go backpack, you spend some money, and you take leave, and in the hot sun, you do it. You toil, you slog yourself, the pasina, whatever that it feels, but you enjoy that trekking. But if someone says that a walk for a kilometer, go down and walk it, you feel it's like irritated, like why I should do it. In both the cases, the activity is same. But are you deciding? That's the matter. That's the essence, is that it's your will. It's me who is deciding. Let me work on it. The moment you see that it's me, that autonomy, that decision, it's me who is deciding. Let me work in my wife and husband relationship. That is an energized space. Yes, it's a toiling work. It's not the easy work, but every step, it's a joy, enjoy. I am becoming better person. But it's the perception of losing. Oh my God, I need to do it. I had to do it. It's my life. How is it? Then that's a sucking place. It's a low energy. It's very draining space. So you ask yourself where you would like to be. So the next topic, I'll go quickly because we have less time. So what do you see? I think I request everyone, little like end of the session, I want some energy. Please, everyone participate by unmute. You can unmute and talk, or you can type in the chat box. When you see a nice scenery, how you feel in nature, the beauty in the nature, or a rainbow, how you feel?
Happy,
Okay,
joyful.
happy, joyful. Others, I request everyone to participate. Some energy. Okay, feel happy. Okay.
Beautiful. Feel like being there, touching it,
okay,
experiencing
touching it. Pleasantness. Okay, experiencing it.
Internalizing it.
Okay, peace of mind. There's so much. Now, now I'm asking you, why you are not asking, look, why these leaves are light green? Why not it can be a dark green? Why this rainbow is like this? It can be at 17 degrees, little more tilt. Why this blue color is little dark? It can be little light, na? Why we are not doing this kind of thinking?
Because we are used to it.
Okay. We are used to, okay. What may be other answers?
It's perfect.
Okay. Really? Anyone? Why when you see that feeling is there, why you are not doing this kind of analysis?
Because those are not in our control.
Okay. Those are not in our control. Okay. Any take?
Nature created it that way. Unless the leaves are green, you cannot think of receiving the sunlight and transforming it into food for the tree.
No, sir. Why it is few? Why I am not worrying that only few leaves are dark green, few leaves are light green. Why it is like this? Why this rainbow is that?
Nature, isn't it?
Okay.
And maybe a botany teacher would be able to explain why the different shades of green are there in the plants.
Okay.
Those are original.
Okay.
And we can't change and we can enjoy.
Okay.
जो आप देखते हैं तो उसको अच्छा लगता है, अब उसको हम चेंज नहीं कर सकते.
Okay.
They are beautiful. They are.
Okay.
Just.
Okay. So let me give a proposal in front of you. Sorry, madam, someone is saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is no process of, if there is no process of changing it, we accept it. If we think of changing also, it is not in our control.
The first thing is, madam, we are accepting as it is. You are seeing as it is. Our brain is wired, trying to see nature things as it is. That's why we appreciate. Wow, nice. We are not in this trap, a trap called if and then trap. If these leaves are like this, then only I accept. If this rainbow is like this, then only I appreciate. No. Naturally, the mind works is that the moment you see things as it is, when you accept as it is, you feel good about that. You feel nice about it. Now, the person who we are living, are we able to see that person as he is? Are we able to accept the person as he is? Am I perfect? This is the madam, I want to everyone to pay attention. This is the one thing in wife and husband relationship. It should be that accepting the other person as he is. Because what is acceptance means? Accepting the other person. One second, some disturbance. Accepting the person as he is means accepting the other person with his shortcomings and background. Because am I perfect? I want to ask this question sincerely to yourself. In spite of all this knowledge, your exposure, your qualifications, whatever that you carry from childhood onwards, with respect of your age, the positions you hold, are we perfect? We also have shortcomings like the other person. Background. Because what my behavior is a result of my so many years of my background, the way I brought up, what I exposed to. Are we accepting this? Recognizing that, this competence of my competence is coming out of my exposure, the guidance I got, or what I repeatedly practice in my life, consciously or unconsciously. Hence, the same thing with the other. Are we able to see this reality? The moment you see it, you naturally feel related to that person. The moment acceptance is missing, immediately the negative feeling comes. Any situation minus acceptance, negative feeling. Situation, person plus acceptance, positive feeling. Period. In wife and husband, in one relationship, it's called sneha bhav. Feeling of affection is very, very important. Feeling that I am related to the other, accepting the other as he is what, when I see this reality, the affection feeling comes in my heart. If one feeling that mandatory in wife and husband relationship that should be celebrated is this feeling of affection, sneh bhav. If at all in your life, if you have a long-term friend, this is what you are doing unconsciously. You might have accepted them as they are, not with if and buts. I accept it, then I will work on it. That's the later part. But this acceptance is, you need to ask, am I really accepting the other person as he is? No conditions, no if and then trap. If this acceptance is there in wife and husband relationship, believe me, you see a new possibility. And this acceptance should come first. You need to accept yourself. You need to see your own thing. So some poet says, there is no perfect relationship in the earth. There's like no perfect person. It's a mature relationships or immature relationships. Unfortunately, nowadays, when we see social media, when we see others, we live in a very imaginary world in media or that. Any kind of body, however it's beautiful is, within 4 hours it smells. and any kind of thing. Na? So now what we are seeing that this dissatisfaction coming out of lack of acceptance of who we are, what the other person is. Always something thinking that the other, ye hua to, if this happen, then only. This if and then trap is really killing our wife and husband relationships. If at all you got trapped into it, one access I give, whoever you think they're the best couple, just go and live with 1 month in their house. This is the activity I give to in my workshops. Whoever you think, then these people are very good in living, and you just spend 1 month in their thing. Then you will come to know how good your life. It's not that everything is negative. No? There are many things happening and very nicely. Are we able to appreciate of them? Yes, then we need to see something is wrong. We need to work on that. It's like you are in traffic in the city. There's a signal, 3-minute signal. Now that's the 3-minute signal extended to 10 minutes. However you cry in the car, will something happen? No, na. Who choose to be in that city? Who choose to travel in during that time on that road? Accepting that thing helps me first to see that how to work on this. I'm just giving an analogy to draw to our life. The moment you see this reality, like how I am not perfect, the other is also not perfect. I may have 10 issues, other may have 12 issues. The moment you see this reality in self, naturally you see the other. So, kul milake, like all the whole 3 feelings we discussed, I request you to contemplate on these things. Feeling of trust, assurance on intent. When you understand this reality, you develop the feeling of trust, Vishwas ki bhav. When you see the reality, I am a human being, the other is like me, other is similar to me. Naturally, you feel the feeling of respect, samman ki bhav. When I see this thing, like how I have my own background, my shortcomings, the other person also accepting the other as he is helps me to feel related to the other. This all 3 together definitely helps us to focus on what matters to us in wife and husband relationship. This is the 3 proposals we discussed. We will share some video and the few material. You can go through it. But I request whatever the self-reflection activity we shared, please spend some time. If possible, as a wife and husband, first individually, then you together talk about it. And let's see that what can be resolved. Can this bank balance, negative bank balance, which is giving compound interest again and again, can it be little dissolved? Let's see. Okay, if at all there is one word, sorry. We don't say sorry because we are wrong. We say sorry because we see relationship is important first. If at all it requires, what's wrong in that to close certain issues? Let's see what happens. I request everyone to next 12 hours. Tomorrow when we meet at 9 o'clock, we'll see that more than 12 hours. Contemplate about each point what we discussed. So here I'm stopping it as officially the session is done. I will take for a few minutes any questions you have.
Sir, in my marriage, long marriage, I've been practicing these issues. The first thing is you can't change others unless he is willing to. And whereas you can change yourself easily. For example, my wife does puja for 2 hours and goes to temple, whereas I don't go. So I accepted it. Let her go until she doesn't want me to accompany her. I accepted her. So there are some disputes also in our marriage, but in those things we agree to disagree and leave it there. So that is my success to my marriage, sir. And this should be everything, everybody should practice it.
Small correction, sir. I agree most of the part.
Yeah.
Even you accept this reality also, others should change themselves. You cannot change it. You can just provide an environment or a proposal. That's all. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kavita ji, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I have one contradiction. Like, I don't know if it's a contradiction. Like you already said, friends, we accept them as they are. And also another time you said one example is that go and live and see with the couples whom you see are the best. So
No,
in
who
that,
we think that
who we
my
think?
my
Okay. Yeah,
partner
I
is
get
not
it.
that
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
One
I
is
get it.
really perfect.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to make sense is that friends, we are not going to be there, live 24/7. But however, the partner, we are going to be there with them for 24/7. So ultimately, we have to reach some stage of, acceptance, mutual acceptance. We cannot say like you be however you are and I will be however I want.
No, that's not
Uh,
been proposed. The proposal is not
I
that,
didn't
madam.
understand it clearly. Just
No,
need some
that's not
idea.
the proposal. Let me clearly articulate the proposal.
Sure.
It's not that I take things for granted or like I leave it like how it is. No, I accept the person as he is, then I work on it. The moment I'm not accepting the person situation as it is, immediately I am draining. I'm into that negative environment.
Yes,
The feeling of affection is going off.
exactly. Yeah.
You see, you do it naturally, all these things with your son when he's a child.
Yes, that is exactly what
Okay.
I was
You
coming to
don't you don't go and say 10 people that my son, these are the issues with my son.
that.
Isn't it? You accept your child as it is, as he is, isn't it?
Yes.
Then you start working on the correction part. Oh, bhav, that feeling is what we are referring to. Why that
Okay.
feeling is missing now?
Okay.
Because this is missing. Second
Mm.
thing, madam, it's not 24 hours, just calculate it. It's just few hours. It's just few hours. You see that you are spending with your colleagues so much time than your partner if you are working.
Yes.
Uh, it's a myth, madam. But unfortunately, we are escalating the issues in this relationship more.
Mm.
So you need to ask that shortest time we spend. It's not much time, madam. Very short time. You just see the practicality. You sleep, your work, you remove all the timings.
It is very small. Yes.
And how beautiful it can be if we see the reality as it is.
Yes, I get that. So you mean to say like we have to come to a certain point of time, like other than TV and sleeping, we have to spend some quality time. Like I understand that, and I am trying to practice that for a couple of months as well. But the thing is, like our interests and their interests may change. Like they would say, I am spending time when I'm watching TV. So how can we, convince that it
No,
spending
today the situation is like that.
yeah,
After 1 year, what it should be? After 2 years?
maybe because of this lockdown or something, we are all together and we are spending time only with, laptops and work from home a lot.
Yes. Lockdown really helped our relationships also, even with our work partners.
Yes, but eventually that is also, working is going great. For employers and bosses, it is going great. But however, if you see the family side, it will be, we have to ask our partners how we are.
Conscious, madam. It's a conscious activity. Relationship is a every day consciously building activity. I
Yes.
cannot say that I married for 10 years ago, there's no need not to work on much. No, relationship is everyday affair, everyday building. You know, and when you are conscious, when we have this feeling, I am sure in my life I can see that possibility that it would be very beautiful experience. Two super possibilities, madam. If your partner is very encouraging, very good. If your partner is challenging, still very good, very, very good. At least you are able to see how much time you are missing this feeling towards the other. So, and it's the shortest way for enlightenment.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
If you have any immediate questions, we'll take. Otherwise, we can close the day one. So thank you very much for your time on the holiday. Please contemplate about it. Tomorrow we will enter into the new other feelings as well. So it will be much enriching. We'll see other dimensions of our wife and husband relationship. Any questions, please post in the chat, group itself, or even as to us personally, as Srinu or that, so that if any questions, we'll take it. If anything you couldn't ask on like in the class or that, when you are doing self-reflection activities, if any questions are coming, feel free to share.